We are live. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Doe TV, where we talk about a lot of useful, knowledgeable things. We gain a lot of knowledge on this show. What else? Did I say we gain a lot of knowledge? We do research a lot of stuff. We do gain a lot of knowledge. We do talk about a lot of things. We talk about mostly anything, but the most important thing is that everything that we say is our own personal opinions. We don't throw opinions on anybody else. We just speak our own facts and whatever we want to say. And we're not really trying to mess with nobody, but we just like messing with some of you cats. So, with that being said, I believe that you should listen to the show no matter how old you are. You know what I'm saying? As long as you can read, write, and speak English, then you should be able to listen to this show. I know I said nobody under 18, but if you're under 18, you can probably still listen to it because it's not bad. We do mild cuss and mild, a lot of stuff, but other than that, it's all good. Bring it to the panel, the first guest of the evening. He hails from College Station, Texas. He's not only a duck hunter, but he's also a wolf hunter and a pigeon killer. Welcome to the stage, James Bodera.
What's up, though, boy? Yeah, fuck them pigeons. I hunt them on a daily.
Yeah, that's why I had to put pigeon killer in there. You a pigeon killer, so You are a pigeon killer. So, with that being said, what's been up, bro?
Shit, man. Chilling, gaming, smoking. Same shit every day.
Oh, okay. Well, the same shit every day. Then that's what's up. I unfortunately I slept the whole day because I didn't go to sleep yesterday. So I took that melatonin pill and I ate a lot of weed and I fell asleep. I slept pretty well. Matter of fact, I slept so good that I don't even remember shit that happened yesterday. I just know I slept good. So maybe I should start skipping days of sleeping then so I can get, better motherfucking sleep. I couldn't sleep for shit. I did sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go to bed till like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, I cannot fall. I mean, if I lay in bed, then I'll just lay there. And I will never fall asleep. I just laying there, playing games on my phone. Not ever falling asleep. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up. So I went to the doctor. I told him I couldn't go to sleep. I was depressed and all kinds of other shit. He threw me some medications to help out with that. But then I went to the pharmacy yesterday to get them filled, and so Walgreens didn't take them, so I had to go to CVS. But then CVS about 1 or 3 days. I'm like, oh hell no, I can't go no. Yeah, I can't go no 1 or 3 days without taking my prescriptions, bro. You're gonna have to fast that shit up. So I just took another blood pressure pill, even though the doctor said don't take these no more. I just took another one because shit, I gotta have something in my body. I'm getting headaches and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm getting headaches and head hurting and shit. It's because of my blood pressure. I gotta make it come down somehow. So I pop a motherfucking blood pressure pill. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that motherfucker help. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of being fucked up. I only got like this because of COVID. The only reason why I got like this because of COVID. So yeah. I know how you feel, bro. Oh, somebody else just tuned in. Let's see who this is. Oh, Flower. Hailing
shit.
coming in, the next person coming in, hailing from Palm Springs Valley, California, by the way of Vegas. She is also a wolf killer, a pigeon killer, and a duck hunter, and a deer hunter. Welcome to the stage, Flower Thomas.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, Flower, what's up?
Hi.
Yeah,
How are you guys tonight?
shit, chilling. Just having mild conversation right now. You know what
Like
I'm saying?
conversation.
Yeah, just a mild conversation right now. I'm waiting for one more person to hit up on the platform here. Waiting for one more person. Hopefully he comes through. I told him what time we started, so hopefully he comes through. We're gonna give it a couple seconds. Wait, see if he show up before we start on with our hot topics today. Huh? Oh, because I didn't know you was thought you was gonna eat first.
Speaking of hot topics, it sure was really hot today. And it didn't feel like it didn't look like it should be as hot today, but it was totally so hot today.
I don't even know how hot it was today because I be hearing my phone go off. Man, I need another phone. Phones are so fucking expensive. Man, I went to Metro and asked for a new phone to upgrade to my phone. He like that motherfucker $299. I'm like, God damn. Well, let me see. Let me pick another
And
phone.
that's cheap. And that's considered cheap these days because phones are like $800-900 now. 600 is like average. Of course, they talk you into all these plans and then tell you could pay $10 a month and rope you in for 2 years. And
Oh.
I got a flat tire today.
You know what? On a homie's car, he always catch a flat on the same fucking tire.
Yeah,
Just weird.
I normally do too. It's most usually it's my side, and it's either, well, I don't know. I guess I get them everywhere because the last one I got was on the passenger side in the back. This one is in the front on my side.
Yeah, his is always on the in the back on the driver's side.
Do they make
Always.
cars that like the tires don't flat? Like, do they make unflat tires? Like,
Actually, they do. They're actually trying to come out with a tire right now that just runs off pure rubber. It has no air in it, just a thick ass fucking tire, and it's made out of all rubber. So you know what I'm saying? It can get nails in it, but it never go flat. You know what I'm saying? It can get all kinds
yeah,
of
because
nails.
I definitely need a pair. I would definitely like to guinea pig that model. But that's what I need. That I definitely need like the no flat tires.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So you know they either made it already or they making them, but that's a heavy ass fucking tire though. All rubber, no air.
Yeah.
It'd be a bitch to change. But if they start making them, that you know what I'm saying, they can prevent you from catching flats all the time. I don't know how that'll roll, but so
Have you
yeah.
ever seen the tires that have a bunch of nails in them? They're actually like terrain tires.
Those are mostly used for the winter time.
I had never seen tires like that before, and I lived in Colorado for many years. And then I seen this chick that had them, and I was like, there's a bunch of nails in your tire.
Yeah, my father actually bought a truck that came with spiked tires. You can use for the winter time, so you can go through the snow a lot better. But he took those off and put regular tires on there. He said he might use the spike tires in the winter time though. I'm sorry, but you hear it though. Tink, 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 tink. You know what I'm saying? You hear that shit as you driving, but probably not in the snow too often because you know what I'm saying, snow slushy.
So is that like the same as getting like chains? Does it work in the same kind of fashion? Do you think?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Okay,
He said it does.
okay.
It
Because yeah, I've
says
only ever seen chains.
instead of putting chains on your tires, you would just use spike tires. They actually help you climb through snow a lot better.
Got it.
So like people on people on Mount Charleston, they gotta put, you know what I'm saying? Like when it snows in Vegas, or not in Vegas, but when it snows on Mount Charleston, you
Yeah,
actually you can't even go to Mount Charleston unless you got chains or spike tires on your car because they
yeah.
you sliding off the fucking mountain and killing yourself. So they advise you to put chains on your car or have spike tires in order to climb the mountain and go to Mount Charleston. You know what I'm saying? So, and I can kind of see it because you know what, Mount Charleston is kind of fucked up. We'll be going
That's
around
how
the
it is at
motherfucking
Big
hills.
Bear.
We'll be going around the motherfucking hills and shit. They ain't got no motherfucking guardrails. Just all mountain. So if you
Ooh,
slide,
no.
you slide right the fuck off the side of that bitch.
And that is so true. I did that. I actually took Route 666. I had a big 1976 Ford conversion van up in Washington State, and I had to get back over to Denver, and I wrapped around a bunch of different ways, and I ended up in Navajo country, and I ended up in like one of those movie scenes where there's one road, like in and out, just the one road, and everything was snow high, and then there was like one hotel, and I was like banging on their door. They're like, we open it at 8 a.m. I was like, I'm going to die before then. I had no heat in the truck and I couldn't get back down the other side of the mountain. I had winded my way up and I couldn't go back down.
Yeah.
I was scary.
It was like
The
that.
next day, I felt like I was skating. I literally felt like I was like
It's a mountain
weird.
in Oregon. It's a mountain in Oregon that you have to go up and down before you come to Vegas again. And I remember I went up the side of that bitch, and then it started raining at the top of that motherfucker, and trucks were just speeding. You know what I'm saying? Trucks was just dipping down this motherfucker. I'm like, damn, nigga,
Yeah.
you know, ain't no motherfucking guardrail, my dude. And they just
Right.
speeding down. I had a Scion back there, and the homie was in the passenger side, sleep like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I rode up that bitch while he was sleeping. I rode down that bitch. That nigga woke up when we got to the bottom. He's like, yeah. He's like, man, was the RA drive? Hell no, nigga. I was terrified going up and down this
Okay.
motherfucker. Shit, and it was nighttime. Shit, if I
Yeah.
you know what? I don't mind riding mountains when it's daytime and I can see shit, so I can see when you fall off. But
Yeah.
riding at night, that shit's pure fucking scary. It's scary as fuck when you ride when you riding
Yeah,
up a down.
somehow I had missed all of the signs on the way up that said that you couldn't come back down because of a snowstorm, but you know.
And then I went up another mountain in Victorville, but this one I had rented a Jeep Cherokee, so I had 4-wheel drive in that motherfucker. But it was all good because I kind of started to slide. I had to use that 4-wheel drive to climb that motherfucking mountain.
Ooh.
Then I came down. Oh man, I got to the top of that bitch. Ooh, it was snowing in that motherfucker. It was snowing so heavy you couldn't even see shit in front of you.
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
oh my goodness. I used fall lights, headlights, every light. Had to fight through that motherfucker. And when I came down there, I was like, you know what? I would never take the alternate route ever again. And it was a town. It was a town on top of the mountain too. It was a town up there. I should have stayed in the motherfucking town so it stopped snowing, but I was
Crazy.
trying to get to Vegas. I was trying to get back to Vegas, man. I was like, man, I'll never take the alternate route. I'll just take the 405 next time. You know what I'm saying? Just to come out in Victorville, but I took that other route. That motherfucker took me on a mountainous motherfucking journey. I was like, oh my God.
Okay. Yeah. No, there's some journeys up in the back roads for sure.
Hell yeah. Especially in the back roads of Victorville, man. You can end up anywhere in that motherfucker if you don't know where you're going.
Yep. And you go the other way because if you go east enough, you end up out in my lands and there's nothing out there but just pure desert.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, damn. I could not handle that type of shit. I mean, I could do good in mountains as long as it's daytime. And it was actually daytime when I went through the Victorville Mountain though. It was actually daytime. It was about noon. but it was just so much snow that you couldn't see shit. You know what I'm saying? The mist from the fucking snow blizzard and shit. The
Oh
mist
yeah,
from
you
that.
get up high. Them missed that. I can't even do it.
Yeah, I couldn't see shit,
I
nigga. I
get
got
real nervous. And I'm a driver. I like to drive, but I get real nervous.
yeah. It's just some weather that I just cannot. I mean, I was used to driving that type of weather. You know what I'm saying? Coming from Gary, you come into all kinds of weather and shit. You come into all kinds of snow. You know what I'm saying? It's spots in Gary that you don't really want to even drive through. Like even in Valparaiso, which is another city close to Gary, they got nothing but country roads. So you be riding around that bitch, you slide off the road to be dead and be stuck forever. Ain't nobody gonna ever come down that road. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying?
You're
Shit,
just
like
dead for days.
off back up in the woods and shit, man. You slide off the road or to one of them trees and just be there. You know what I'm saying? You be there for 2-3 fucking weeks before somebody come driving down the damn road. Like, oh shit, a car. Damn, let me see what's up to. Like, oh, thank God you came. It's been like 2 weeks I've been here. Stuck. You have to wait till the fucking snow melt. Then when the snow melt, then you find out you in a real ditch. You might as well leave your car and just start walking.
Mm-hmm.
You better have a kit, survival kit.
You know what I'm saying? You might as well leave your car and just start walking. But then again, you don't want to be walking because there's wolves and shit out in the woods. It's no good.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I prefer to stay not in the wooded area. I prefer to be in the city. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta worry about wolves. I just gotta worry about dogs. Niggas not tying their goddamn dog up. Because it's illegal to have a dog roaming around in Gary, but motherfuckers don't follow the rules. They still let their dog just roam the front yard with no chain. So if you walking down the street, that dog see you, you see it. It's gonna come for you.
I mean, honestly, roaming dogs or wolves are not the biggest ops we got to worry about, even in cities. Depending on where you are in the country, it could be any number of things. It could be mountain lions, it could be boars.
Well, in Gary, they don't have mountain lions. They got
True.
they don't have mountain lions. We don't have no sign. We don't have no sign of fucking mountain lion. We got wolves and brown bears, and that's in some parts of Indiana. They got bears, but wolves are the most important thing that you gotta watch out for walking around in the woods of Gary or Valparaiso or Chesterton or anywhere in Indiana. Because Indiana's full of woods and corn, mostly corn, but
mostly corn. Yep.
The only thing you got to worry about when you get lost in the cornfield is just follow the noise to the highway. That's the best way. That's what somebody told me. It's like, no, if you ever get lost in the corn, just follow the noise.
And where?
The noise. In Indiana, see, because Indiana's full of corn. There's corn everywhere. Once you get on the highway of like 65 and start driving north, you're gonna hit nothing but corn. Corn every
okay, so we're back to the corn thing. Yeah, that corn. We are sponsored by corn this week.
Cornfields.
Corn is very popular this week. I don't know why.
Cornfields. Like, no, I'm just saying, if you ever get lost in the cornfield, you just follow the noise, follow your way back to the nearest highway. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, because that would make sense that you would listen for noise because you're in a field of corn ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's very quiet. Other than that, because they can only listen, they can't talk.
They can't talk. No.
Bad for that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like seriously, like it's that kind of a quietness in a place like that where you can really just listen for whatever noises or to get you back where you got to go. It's that quiet.
Yeah, because corn don't make noise. It just sits there and grow about 10 feet tall. So you in a corn patch, lost. You don't know where the fuck to go. I mean, you ain't got to worry about no actual animals being inside the corn other than wolves.
Yeah. Because they don't even fuck around in the corn. Like corn's its own natural like repellent.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. So you got to follow the noise. So you have to follow the noise of any kind of noise you hear. So if you hear a bunch of crickets and shit, don't listen to that noise, but listen for car horns, cars, and trucks and shit like that. You find your way back to the highway.
I mean, if you're close to an actual highway, yeah, that's one thing. But if you out in the boonies and you end up getting lost in a cornfield, it might be a while before you hear a vehicle pass by.
Like, all right, like check this out. Like, I went to a city in Indiana called Leroy, Indiana, and I knew this white bitch that lived out there. And so, you know, we used to fuck around. We used to go in the corn and just be fucking around and shit. But one day we went out in the corn, we got kind of lost. Man, that was the shittiest 5 hours I ever spent in my life. It's not even good to light no blunt in the motherfucking corn, because if you throw your match down, you might burn the whole goddamn cornfield. Then the farmer gonna be mad.
Was the corn green or dried out?
It was kind of dry, kind of green. It was like in the beginning of yeah.
Okay, so I mean, if you stepped on it and rubbed on it a bit, rub it with your foot into the dirt, it wouldn't have done anything. But yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. So in the corn patch, we got kind of lost, but we had, you know what I'm saying. But we had found our way back to her crib, and she stayed. Her yard ended at the corn. You know what I'm saying? When her yard ends, nothing but corn all over.
That sounds like some scary movie shit.
I mean,
why were you guys playing in the cornfield if she had a place?
Oh, because you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's just, man, listen. When you live in Leroy, you
was it her idea, and was she a white girl?
Oh yeah, she was definitely white. Yes, she was definitely.
And was it her idea to go play in the cornfield?
Yeah, I mean, she does it all the time.
Okay, you know? I think you survived abduction.
No, it wasn't abduction. I mean, everybody in the town always walks through the corn just for fucking hee-haw. You know what I'm saying? They just don't go as far out, but they just walk through the corn. Because I mean, it ain't shit else to do in Leroy. They ain't got no bars in Leroy.
So hanging out in the corn is like the cool thing to do.
Yeah, they got one gas station, one motherfucking light, no other motherfucking no McDonald's,
and then just luring black guys into the cornfield.
And there's only one black dude that actually lives in Leroy. And I'm saying his name must be Leroy.
Oh, so they had never seen another black guy other than the other guy until you got there.
Yeah.
And then she invites you to come play in the cornfields out a little bit too far. I don't know. It still sounds like a movie entrance.
No, I mean,
we should totally just write a book or a movie about it. Your experience.
No, because they already got something like that. They got Children of the Corn.
Yeah, but they got to get out. Oh.
They already got a movie about that. We already got a movie about corn. It's called Children of the Corn.
Oh yes, Children of the Corn was an awesome movie.
And it's not just Children of the Corn that takes place.
That's when I first learned the name Malachi, and then everybody wanted to name their kid Malachi that year.
Well, I don't want to name my kid. I want to name my kid Chlamydia.
I'm going to name my daughter Chlamydia. Corn that has happening in cornfields. Jeepers Creepers did too.
Oh, that was the one with the scary truck.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers was in the corn too.
Okay. Yeah.
Omen too. Now that I think about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All the best scary shit with the white people is out in the cornfield.
Huh? I mean, what, in the cornfield?
I'm just saying, like, you don't just have a normal black person movie like, hey, let's go play in the cornfield. Like,
Omen 2 was filmed around corn, in corn. Old boy lived up in the motherfucking house. I think the house was on the cornfield.
Cornfields. Does corn grow in the desert? Does it grow in briny water? I need to know. I might have to plant some corn.
Corn does not. Now you know what? I have never been nowhere in Nevada and seen a cornfield. I've seen desert. I mean, it's probably corn. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a lot of farmers that live in Nevada, especially when you get to Eli and Betty and all that. So it might be corn out there, because I'm saying that they grow corn to feed their cows, chickens, and pigs, and whatever the fuck else. But nowhere else in Nevada that I know of, other than Vegas, does it get that fucking hot. You know what I'm saying? Ely and shit like that might get like 80s, 90s, never 112s and shit like that though. That's going up towards north. That's going up
Got
north.
it.
You know what I'm saying? They don't get that hot up
Yeah,
there.
I need to find out what kind of crop I can grow in briny water in the desert.
You can make hydro and water. Well, you got to use water. Make hydroponics. That's a marijuana. That's what Chicago is.
I think that stuff needs too much water.
Nah, you just need a 50-gallon fish tank and a couple sponges, and you're gonna have your, you know what I'm saying, a couple tubes to filter the water and shit. You can make hydroponics in that motherfucker. You got the strongest fucking weed out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because hydro was popular in fucking Chicago back in the 90s. Shit, hydro was shit. I remember I copped a fucking half ounce of hydro, and you can literally take a bud of hydro, throw it against the wall and the stick, and you can hang a picture from that bitch.
Oh, it sounds like the stuff that people they have these little at-home herbal gardens that you could put on your counter, and I think people were growing hydroponics in those.
No, they
they
are. They're growing shit to not sell. But the motherfucker that's trying to sell hydro, that nigga gonna have a 50-gallon fucking tank with a lot of sponges. And he's gonna grow his motherfucking hydro out them fucking sponges, and it's gonna be the stickiest weed in the fucking world. Sometimes hydro can be so sticky shit don't even fucking light or burn. And if it burns funny as shit, burn up the blunt all weird. You gotta light hydro. Like sometimes when you buy hydro, sometimes you gotta let that bitch sit out and get even a little bit more drier before you smoke it.
Oh, we're always learning new things here on the Doe Show.
Yeah, well, that's some new shit. Hydro is the shit. Now they don't sell hydro. I mean, they might sell hydro, but if it's not coming from Chicago, I don't believe it's real hydro. So
why Chicago?
I don't know why Chicago, but Chicago is where hydroponics. I mean, I'm not even saying it probably originated in Chicago. It's just that's where I learned from it and learned about it was in Chicago.
Got it.
So you need, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just figured fuck it. It was grown in Chicago. Chicago came up with it. I don't know. Somebody let me ask Google where the hydroponics come from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Who was the first person to grow hydro? I don't know. All right, so John Woodward, building on Jan van Helmont's previous work in 1699, John Woodward created the world's first hydroponics nutrient solution after concluding that plant growth benefited by nutrients and water was more accessible than soil. The 20th century was a flurry of studies and advancements in how we grow. So in 1699, which is way before I was born, John Woodward created the world's first hydroponics nutrient solution after concluding that plant growth benefited by nutrients and water was more accessible than soil.
That's cool, but it's not for weed. That was just a hydroponic system for growing plants indoors or outdoors, right? So when did the weed start getting grown like that?
I don't know if it was for, but I'm saying hydro is weed.
Well,
so if he created the first hydroponic
but the hydroponic system, right, for plants. So plants also because they have other plants that grow like that. It's not just weed. So ask it when did they start using the hydroponic system for weed? Because plants and other herbs and other like I said, that kind of stuff has been growing like that on a hydroponic system for a while. but when did we learn to put weed to it? Or you think people have just been growing weed all these years too, though, without really mentioning that it's weed? I mean, I'm sure they have. Weed's been around probably since before the apple.
Okay, so the indoor revolution in cannabis cultivation begins in the earliest, or the earnest in the early 1980s with the embrace of hydroponics as a primary growing medium. First developed in the 17th century, hydro-grown plants proved that non-soil mediums sustain full plant development.
Bingo. And I like how they credited his finding in the 1700s too, like that. So that sits really well with me. So about the 80s, 1980 is when we decided to hit it up with the weed.
And then, you know what I'm saying, and then 10 years later, that's in the 80s, but in 1990 is when I first got put on with hydro coming out of Chicago.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
So when they say in the 80s, does it mention what area in the 80s where it first was being explored?
Nope.
I'm just trying to narrow it down to see if Chicago was one of the first areas. And it seems like it could because they had money in Chicago back then. Like there was a lot of money, there was a lot of mob stuff, there was a lot of things going on back in then.
The origin of cannabis, though, the oldest known written record on cannabis use comes from the Chinese Emperor Shang Nung in 2727 BC. So that was the first motherfucker to ever smoke weed. Was Chinese Emperor Shang Nung in 2727 BC.
So 2727 BC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when the first person ever smoked weed.
Okay, so that's like before we even started really counting the other new time. So weed was always something that was here.
No, it started. The first origin of cannabis ever been known to man before anybody ever smoked it. The first person to smoke it was the Chinese Emperor Shang Nung in 2727 BC. So that was the first known instance of marijuana. And marijuana probably been around 100 years.
I think that we should have a strain come out and call it 2727. And we should have it come out in 27. And it should be his strain, that strain. I randomly give people business ideas and things, being the person that I am. So if you're out there and you end up creating that strain, be sure to send me my 10%.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you know, here's the brief history of hydroponics. I'm about to read some shit.
So, good. Love to learn things here on the Dough Show.
The brief nature, it actually started before the 1980s. So okay. Let's see, the 1850s and 1860s. I mean, you know, the grow weed is better. It's better in hydroponics. It is better. You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah, I think so too. Like I've had some that was grown that way, and it's like, I think it's like moist for sure. It's just differently grown. You know, living out here in the desert, there's a lot of dry strains, and especially since compliance came around, you know, they gotta grow the stuff, send it, package it, clean it, whatever. It's gotta go through all these different checks, and it comes back to you. And it's really dry. Like there's a lot of dry ass weed out here.
Yeah.
The hydroponic system seems like it would keep it moist.
You know, the best weed is grown if you have all 4 seasons. So like if you have all 4 seasons, you can grow the best weed because that's why all the like in Cali, the best weed is grown in weed country because that's up north. They get all 4 fucking seasons. You know what I'm saying? They get winter,
Like Modesto
fall,
County.
spring, and summer. So since they get all 4 seasons and they get plenty of snow and shit, that's the best place to fucking grow weed. And all the weed country, you know what? In the weed country in California, there's a policeman. Well, I don't know his name, but they say that there's like a lot of police that sit at the end of the road that leads up to weed country. That they sit at the end of the road whenever they see cars coming out that bitch. They'll be stopping them and shit. Like, yeah, we know what you got in the car. We know what you got. They take bribes, but they take bribes though.
They be taxing people, you think? Yep. I tried to do it once. I actually tried. I seen a thing one day, and it was like you got like a little fish tank motor, and you got like these plastic bins, the little Tupperware containers, and you like put the little system in there. I couldn't really figure it out. I'm not really a grower.
Uh,
But I tried it with some seeds
yeah, I'm trying. I'm
in the
trying to.
bathroom
I'm trying to.
because
I'm
the
trying to.
bathroom had the fluorescent light. But I gave up in like 4 days. I was like, this is not, I can't do this. And this was years ago.
Who was the first person to use hydroponic weed system?
And they have like these massive systems now. Oh, the show Weeds, the TV show Weeds, there was a sitcom. And during that show is when it became really popular to do it again, hydroponics and everything. They have sell these machines that look like water heaters. And all the shops were going crazy selling those kind of at-home systems during those years. Not sure what year that show came out, but it was a good show. Maybe like 6 seasons or 4 seasons.
I'm trying to find who was the first person to use hydroponics and weed, but it keeps taking me back to the 17th century with that dude.
Are you using the word cannabis or are you using the word weed?
I'm using cannabis.
Okay, just checking because you know sometimes you got to confuse the searches.
You know what I'm saying? I keep using cannabis, but it keeps taking
Maybe
me back
try
to
the word marijuana instead.
I tried to. I use marijuana and I use cannabis, and it brings me to the same people.
Okay, well then Google. We're gonna need you, Google, to do an interview here on the show. We have some questions, and we're not finding answers on your site. So kindly answer us back, and we can get down to the thick of it.
So it doesn't really say who was the first state or country to ever use hydroponics and weed. They just bring it back to this John Von dude, this German motherfucker back in 1775 or whatever the fuck, 17th century. So maybe he did grow weed out his hydroponic shit. He grew all plants. He grew marijuana plants,
Gotcha.
carrots, all kinds of shit. So that's probably the first person that actually tried to use it. So 17th century, maybe that nigga grew marijuana and just didn't know it was marijuana, but he grew all plants. That's what they keep taking me back to this motherfucker. So maybe he was the first person to use plants. I mean, to grow marijuana. So since he was the first person.
According to what I've found, it says the indoor revolution in cannabis cultivation begins in earnest in the early 1980s, with the embrace of hydroponics as the primary growing medium, first developed in the 17th century.
Yeah, first developed in the 17th century.
Yeah, by the guy in 1699. So he developed it for the 17th century, the hydroponic system for growing plants. But then in
Yeah,
the 80s is when we really pushed it into the cannabis sector. But like, who was that?
Yeah, they don't say.
Maybe
don't
because
say who.
they don't want to take credit for it.
Not that. They just might not know. They might not know. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they've been growing marijuana for quite some time, prior to all you know what I'm saying, all the existence of humans. They've always had cannabis around, but the first person to ever smoke it was the Chinese emperor in 2727 BC. So he was the first person to smoke it. What's up, James?
So I just peeked something else. According to Wikipedia, now you can take anything from Wikipedia with a grain of salt because anybody can fucking add or subtract or change shit on Wikipedia. So take it as you will. History: the earliest published work on growing terrestrial plants without soil was the 1627 book Silva Silvarum, or A Natural History by Francis Bacon, printed a year after his death. In 1699, John Woodward published his water culture experiments with spearmint.
Okay.
So starting from 1627 onwards is when hydroponics first came around for just growing regular plants. For cannabis, I'm gonna guess it started becoming popular and more used, like possibly as far back as the early 1960s, but definitely in the 1970s and 80s.
So there's a big gap there. There's a very big gap between the 1700s and the 1900s. So what happened in the 1800s? There was no cannabis going on and no plants going on. Was that like a carnival year? Carnival. You know what I'm trying to say? Carnivore year.
By 1842, a list of 9 elements
Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Go ahead. Sorry.
Believed to be essential for plant growth had been compiled, and the discoveries of German botanists Julius von Sachs and Wilhelm Knopp, KNOP, in the years 1859 to 1875 resulted in a development of the technique of soilless cultivation. To quote von Sachs directly, in the year 1860, I published the results of experiments which demonstrated that land plants are capable of absorbing their nutritive matters out of watery solutions without the aid of soil, and that it is possible in this way not only to maintain plants alive and growing for a long time, as had long been known, but also to bring a vigorous increase in their organic substance and even the production of seed capable of germination.
I found out who used the first weed hydroponic system in the world.
Who was it?
I found out who did it. And they said that would be Benny Fischepue in 1979. He imported the seeds from Amsterdam, perfected the hydroponic feed and watering systems, sold neatly packaged product in bulk by mail order until 1987, when he refused to supply the local police for free and was busted.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
A genius, in fact, and all the more remarkable as he was stoned out of his crust 24/7, died in a nursing home in Texas in 2019 at age 88, and it took a week to fumigate his old room.
So basically, COVID. So he started COVID.
No, he did not start COVID. He started using. He started. He's the first person to import seeds from Amsterdam and perfected the hydroponic feed and watering system. So in 1979, Benny Fischepue. So he's the guy. He's the guy who started.
1979, you say?
Yeah. Oh, he was the first person that started the watering system with using hydroponic weed in 1979.
Hydroponic weed started in 1979. and then got very popular through the 80s.
Well, it was popular until 87 when he refused to supply the local police for free. He wasn't
right, and then they took it back off and that's when they like confiscated it all and shut it down, and then that whole weed legal thing again like that. So we went through all that, and now we're just now coming back around to it.
And then they said the first person to grow cannabis indoors is believed to be Robert Connell Clark, an American author, activist, and cannabis expert. He published the first book on indoor cultivation in 1973. So he is credited with growing cannabis indoors.
So really what still happened during the 1800s. So we are accounted for back in the 1900s again real quick. And we was all starting the shit in the 1700s. So what happened in the 1800s?
I don't know what happened in 1800s. Shit. Niggas is growing shit. They was experiencing growing all kinds of shit in the 80s, in the 1800s. So, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's what's up. So we found out who grows. We found out the first person that ever used the hydroponic system. We found out the first person that grew weed indoors.
And we found out the first guy to smoke weed.
Yeah, that was Chen Sing Young of
back in 2027 before Christ.
Yeah, before Christ. So, you know, that's a long ass time ago. But yeah, we found some interesting shit.
And we learned a lot of stuff in the year, in the life in the AC 1920. That's what, you know, we're on year 4.
All right, so now, you know, we spent a lot of time talking about this shit. We got to talk a little bit about today's topic. Today's topic is about honesty, trust, and commitment. And those are 3 things that you need in anything. Relationships, friendships, business. You know what I'm saying? You need all 3 of those things in any walks of life. Because without honesty, without trust, without commitment, nothing will work. Nothing will work without these 3 things: honesty, trust, and commitment. Do you agree? James, do you agree with that?
What?
That honesty, trust, and commitment is the only things that you need to make anything work in life.
Yep. That and a backup plan in case something falls through.
Well,
there would be your trust. Your trust would have you not need a backup plan.
Yeah, always that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't need it. Whenever you got honesty, trust, and commitment, you don't need no backup plan. Because commitment is gonna make the first fucking plan work.
Uh-huh.
Because if you committed to the plan is never gonna fail if you committed to it. Then if you trust in the plan, then you know you're not gonna be fucked up. And if you're always honest with yourself, then yeah, the other 2 follow.
I agree with that. How do you know? And with that, how do you know? How do you know when to stop trusting? How do you know when to stop? What's the other one?
Well, commitment and trust.
Commitment. Like how do you determine? How do you know? And I'm just not even a general question. How do you determine what you want to commit to, or who, or why? Do you have factors? Do you have a checklist?
Well, it's like this. If you lose the honest, if you're dishonest in anything, if you lose the honesty, then trust and commitment won't even be realized. Like you won't even need to go to trust and commitment, because once you fuck up honesty is the very first thing you need. You're not honest about shit, trust and commitment, you ain't got to worry about that. That
Do
ain't
you
gonna.
believe
That
that people can be completely 100% honest in all aspects of their life to everything and everybody around them?
I believe it to a certain degree. You can.
Do you believe that you can be completely honest with yourself?
I mean, yeah, you can be completely honest with yourself. I mean, you can live on honesty with yourself
I agree.
at all times. But you know what I'm saying? Whether you trust or you're committed to yourself, man, it's another story. But honestly, you can be honest
Oh,
with
that's
yourself
true.
all the time. You can be, you know what I'm saying? You can be honest with yourself at all times.
I trust other people to be other people. Like I trust people to be themselves. I don't think I trust people on a level about myself. I always trust the situation for like what it can hold.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But if you break the first one, if you break the honesty rule, you don't have to worry about trust and commitment. Trust and commitment ain't gonna be there once you fuck up honesty. Like in a relationship, honesty, trust, and commitment. You're honest to yourself about everything. You trust that your relationship gonna work out, and you're committed to your relationship. Then yeah, you have a good chance of winning. Once you
Bingo. I
fuck up,
think that's part of the problem. That might be part of people's problem is they commit right away to something before they know if it's trustworthy or honest. And then they have a problem with themselves and their choices because they made a choice too soon. That's what brought me to the how do you know when you want to commit to something?
yeah,
Because people do, they commit to things like right away. Like, okay, like even, it's a phone program or a gym membership or whatever. Like people are really quick to sign that dotted line, like, yeah, I'm gonna come to the gym. Oh yeah, $20 a month, I got you. I'm gonna come to the gym. Yeah, every day. They make a commitment and then find out they're really not being honest with themselves or they don't trust themselves to, for the results. I might have took it a different direction. I didn't mean to, but So how do you know if you want to make that commitment? You're not being honest with yourself if you make a commitment like that, knowing that's not,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
like I could go do that. I could go pay the gym membership right now today and be like, yes, let me go to the gym. I'm gonna do this every day. I'm gonna put in this work and this commitment. But like I know for sure that doesn't. I don't. It's not. I don't. I would love to. I would love to, but that is not. I don't believe how it works for me.
yeah.
I'm being honest with myself.
Yeah. I just seen a flyer for it. Yeah, but yeah. I'm kind of high. I'm kind of high. I got a headache.
And then I'm trusting myself to not, spend money that is going to be a waste because I'm not committed to the honesty of doing just that,
Yeah. But anything else anybody want to add before we get into shout outs and shit?
Was that not a cool enough subject? Did I bore
Yeah.
everybody? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's you know what I'm saying? I got a small little headache. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I don't know why the headache came on, but yeah, a small little headache. But I'm cool with teaming on the show. This chick always send me a motherfucking menu about weed. But
Does she sell weed?
No, I'm saying, but she always put Venom OG on this motherfucker. I know it's not the real Venom OG. You know what I'm saying? I just know. You know what I'm saying? I just know it's not gonna smell like it. She gonna be trying to push it. It's not gonna smell like it. It's just like I ain't got no bread no way. So.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no bread no way.
I wonder what weed tastes like on other planets. Like when they can start bringing weed from the other planets down here, like, yeah, that'll be cool.
When they start bringing weed from other planets,
Yeah.
who's gonna bring weed from other planets? Like who's gonna
The plug. Like whoever goes to pick it up, like, you know what I'm saying? Whoever the middleman is for that.
There is no
I mean, they
middleman
brought
for
the moon.
anybody.
Somebody came up with the moon rock, so I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be like no time before they start sending weed from other planets. I mean, everybody keep telling me people can't live there, but other things can grow there. I'm sure they got a good crop up there, out there somewhere. You ask who gonna bring it? I'm gonna ask the world who gonna bring it. Where you at? Are you the plug? You got the weed from other planets? Because we're weed connoisseurs on this show. We like to smoke weed. So if you got weed from another planet, come on the show. Let's light it up. And I also wanted to say that you can go to girlmondaymedia.com and you can get tickets to the August live stream. And that is a multitude of interviews, comedians, music, just all types of different things that have to do with the entertainment world. And I want to say thank you for James for showing up tonight and for Joe for reaching out. I kind of popped in Joel's podcast, but I was actually out in the car and didn't think that the reception came through. So I popped back out kindly, but it looked like it had a lot going on. A lot of people. I'm going to have to watch that.
Then she's selling a Venom OG for $20 an eighth. That's how you know that shit ain't real. That's how you know it's not the real Venom. $20 an eighth for all her shit. She got Sherblotto, Cake and Bake, Pink Candy, Dirt, Rainbow Sherbet, Green Grapes, Lemon Haze, Slime Balls, Blueberry.
It's about $20 an eighth out here in one of these little shops, and they got some decent things.
Sunset Sherbet, and Green Goddess. Oh, these are all real strains. No, these are strains that she got, nigga. She a weed lady.
In Denver, the prices were like that too for really good strands. I like the weed in Denver.
I mean, she got a lot of different flavors and shit, but you know what? I guess if you try to compete with the dispensary, I mean, you got to compete with the dispensary.
Because you trying to take out your tax. Yeah, because you don't got to pay the same taxes. So, and I think that $20, $25 an eighth right now, at least for the 4 states that I, surround myself in, that's about regular for regular. So it all depends on the actual brand. Some brands are just cheaper than the other brand.
I mean, only thing the dispensaries got on everybody else that they got mad flavors too, but they shit come with tax. And so, you know what I'm saying, the $20 eighth through the dispensary would be $25,
it comes to like $32, sometimes $28.
No, maybe in Cali, but in Vegas, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, out here it's like,
it's $20.
Out here it's like really high. It's like 30-something. It's like 30-something% tax out here.
Yeah, because you got California state tax.
Yeah, I want to say it's like 35%, 37% tax out here.
Yeah, I know. I just told you what the tax laws is. It says
Yeah.
you got county tax, state tax, and California tax. You got all three taxes, and all of them like 10%. So you spend about 30%
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
out stuff.
exactly.
You
Yeah, it's
understand?
crazy. I
'Cause I
don't
used to
even
shop
bother
at
myself with them no more.
San Bernardino and at their dispensaries, and they had 30% tax. That's when I was like, oh fuck that, I gotta go to the legal motherfucking shops. I
Right.
can't fuck with them. I can't fuck with these burger
Nope.
shops in San Bernardino. Fuck that. I gotta go to the ones that they do not list on Weed Maps. I gotta go to those. I gotta go to one that's in a burnt up churches building and shit. You know what I'm saying? But in the back they got a dispensary back there. I need to go to those. I can't go to the ones you pay taxes.
The ones that come to the pop-up shows for the session and just be having the mad deals to go back up the hill later.
Some of them niggas that be showing up the pop up though, they show up the pop up with bullshit because they know niggas is just gonna buy it. They'll call it whatever they want to call it, then sell it.
I was at this one pop-up. I was at the one pop-up a few months back. When was it? Was this my shit? It might even been last year by now. I don't even remember. Maybe last June. But 8 was there, and yeah, that one had some woo, and they was pushing all this different. Ooh, it was good. There was some good weed there. No wraps. They had all this weed, no ashtrays, and no wraps. So I knew what to bring to the next session.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of weed men I fuck with. I got a lot of weed men who I fuck with. They always sending me their fucking menus. They always got all this fucking weed. Like my homie out in Blue Diamond, that nigga, whenever that nigga send me his list, that nigga be having pages. But you know what? He has all that weed though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I used to know a guy out there. I used to know a guy out there in Vegas that used to show up with like a fish tackle box, and every little thing was a different flavor weed. That was way before weed was like legal and popular, but that shit was so cool to me. Like it was like digging in like a candy jar, candy box or something.
Yeah, I mean, but on her list though, of her list of weeds that she got, the only one I think would probably be anything would probably be the Venom OG and the green grapes. Other than that, the blueberry pancake, that's all bullshit. Blueberry pancakes, I don't want none of that shit. Blueberry muffin. But all I'm saying, all these strains are real strains because they sell most of these strains inside fucking dispensaries.
And you gotta, some of them names don't mean nothing. It be them numbers. You know, I've had some names that were stupid ass names, but them numbers is up in the high 39s and 42s.
But if she says
And
that
then
she
I've
has
had
these
some.
strains, I believe. I've been fucking with her for 7 years. I know what she has.
Got you.
But Green Goddess and Sunset Sherbet and Gerp and all the other shit, I don't want to try no shit like that. My other homie, he be sending me his motherfucking list. He be having the weirdest fucking names for shit, but I don't want none of that shit, nigga. I mean, I don't shop off names I know. You know what I'm saying? That plus I look up a lot of shit too. I look it all up through Leafly just to see if it's real. And if I can't find on Leafly, then I just type it into Google. Google usually have it come off the strain of slime balls. Slime balls might not be real.
Yeah, I think I don't pay attention to the names as much as the numbers. But that might just be a thing out here like that, you know?
The numbers don't matter. The numbers don't even matter.
Out here they seem to though. Like you'll have a bunch of low numbers like under 30, and it'll be like the same grade or the same type of strand of weed, no matter what the flavor of the name is. And then from like 32 to like 39 be a different kind of grade of weed, a different kind of strain type of thing, no matter what the flavor. And then anything above that 39 is usually like what we used to call top shelf. So, but you can find that in a little 25 for an eighth. You just have the numbers. I don't know if it's the California compliance or how you got to reread through shit or how they mark shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is fucking coded in our world, you know?
Yeah. You know, you'd be talking about 32% THC, 33% THC, 39%. I'd be like, yeah, I don't believe it, but you know.
I think
But
in Denver they taught us that everything is really capped at 0.1%. So I've never really paid that much attention, but yeah, out here the numbers seem to mean something with the type of at least the type of way it smokes, like for sure.
well, you know what? They're trying to say that Godfather OG is quite possibly the highest THC strand. Labs put the strain's THC levels at 30 to 35%. So Godfather OG is touted as the world's strongest weed strain. This potent weed strain is an indica dominant hybrid and hits within minutes of taking the first smoke. And I can honestly say I've only had Godfather OG out of Cali. And it was a good ass strain. It was some powerful ass shit. I don't think, you know what I'm saying, it was probably this Godfather OG, but it was some strong ass shit. It did hit. That eighth that I bought from that dispensary did me justice. And I went back try to get some more, but they ain't had no more. But
I feel that.
But
And you probably got a really good growth, especially if they didn't have no more, because that the good growths go fast.
yeah,
You could always tell the
shit
difference for
slowed
sure.
out so fast. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Shit slowed out fast as fuck.
Yeah.
Now there's been other places that have Godfather OG, and it's been shitty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
'Cause, you know,
it's always about that particular batch, you know?
yeah, it was all about the grower. So the
Yeah.
grower can continue to make good ass strains of weed that he's in the business. But if he grows sometimes good, sometimes not good, then yeah, then it's fucked up. Then it is fucked up. But yeah, when you look up, and then another strong ass weed is Gorilla Glue #4. And Gorilla Glue, to me, man, Gorilla Glue doesn't get me high anymore. But it is, I mean, it does taste good. It does smell good. It does stink.
It tastes good
does.
too, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay to look at, but for me, I can smoke a whole eighth of Gorilla Glue and never get high. It ain't strong.
Yeah,
It
I
ain't strong
think
enough for me.
that's how I feel about most strands and most flavors and most anything about weed. Like it really takes I just remember being young and like that little cat pissy taste weed, and you like 1-2 hits and you forgot you was fucking smoking. You forgot you was hitting the weed. And that's the kind of high that you be like, all right, cool, I'm cool. And I haven't felt that for tens of years, and I had quit smoking for a long time because, well, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you don't get high, so it's like, say, smoking cigarettes to me, and I stopped smoking cigarettes, and so, but yeah, I haven't had like a truthfully and honestly, I feel a little change here and there, whatever. I know but I ain't been like, I ain't had a 2-hitter, what they call it, a 2-hitter quitter. Where you really are like, oh shit, like you have to remember to light the weed again, like that. That's what I'm looking for. I haven't had that for a long many moons.
Well, you need to try some Bruce Banner, because Bruce Banner is a powerful energizing effects. Which I've had Bruce Banner before. Bruce Banner is a very powerful ass, but it's mostly a sativa. So I mean, it gives you a great ass head high. It's very, very strong. It's stronger. This might be stronger than Jack Herer, but it's up there. It's strong as
I
fuck.
like that one. I remember liking that one when I was younger. The Herer one.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Somebody gonna have to challenge, not you, but somebody out there in the world gonna have to challenge me to a smoke out when I get to Vegas next. Let's see if anybody can get me high.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you about 5 of the rarest weed strains on Earth. I'm gonna just list off
Here on
5
Earth.
of them. Yeah, on Earth. But the first one is Black African Magic. Now, I've never had that. That sounds like a goddamn good ass strain of weed.
It sounds like a good time, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they said you will not find Black African Magic in many cannabis stores across the country. So it's not. I'm gonna have to start asking about that. Oxycan Highland. That's a weird ass
Oxygen
name,
Highland?
but the Oxycan Highland can easily be mistaken for different plants other than weed. Oh, okay. Well, hey.
Oh.
Panama Red. Now, Panama Red is something my father used to smoke back in the day, so they probably don't have any more of
Really?
that anywhere. But Panama Red is something that my father always describes when he talks about smoking good ass weed. He
Oh
starts to,
wow, I'm gonna have to ask some OGs about it. Where's
yeah.
that? Where's that? Paramount Red, huh? What area did your dad grow up in?
60. So he said, saying chocolate tie stick, Panama Red, Acapulco Gold, the original Acapulco Gold, shit like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's some damn good weed. I wish I could have smoked some of that shit back in the day. But
Oh, I remember a couple of them names. Yeah, but I don't think I've ever tasted them.
Puna butter, Hindu Kush. Now,
Oh,
I've had Hindu Kush, and Malawi Gold. So Hindu Kush, I've had Hindu Kush, and that was back in the 90s, late 90s. I've had that, early 2000s. I had this one dude. He had got some Hindu Kush from his hometown of Afghanistan, and he brought some back inside his shoe. He flew back home, and he let me hit a little bit of that shit from Afghanistan. I swear to God, nigga, I got so high off that shit, nigga. I missed my bus. I was supposed to go hang out with my cousin, nigga. It took me several hours just to get to the MGM Grand from Flamingo. Like, you know what I'm saying?
my
I stayed
gosh.
on Flamingo and Burnham, and it's like I tried to catch the bus. I fell asleep at the bus stop. And when I hit the weed, it was a very deep creeper. Because when I hit it, you know what I'm saying? It tasted good as fuck, but it was like, oh, okay. I hit it like twice. He's like, yo, man, slow down. I'm like, man, I'm good, bro. And so I hit it, then I left, and I went to the bus stop. And I fell asleep on the bus stop to the homegirls. Her mama woke me up on the bus stop. She's like, nigga, I see you over here asleep. I'm like, oh, my bad. So when I got on the bus, Flamingo West, take it to the strip, get off at Las Vegas Boulevard, and walk to MGM Grand. That was my plan. Nigga, I spent 3 hours on a Flamingo bus. I rode that bitch to the top, to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, and back to the mother. I was on a double decker. I was knocked the fuck out. Old boy was like, he's like, nigga, if I never came up here, I would have never discovered you. He was like, but he's like, yeah, all right. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm just a little hot. I got off the bus at Las Vegas Boulevard. By that time, it was like 7, 8 o'clock. I left the crib like 4 o'clock.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? By the time I got to Las Vegas Boulevard and I walked down to MGM Grand, yeah, it was a wrap. I missed the whole motherfucking weekend fucking with that shit. That shit had me stuck.
That's crazy. That sounds like a good time at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, we have went 13 minutes over the hour. I like to send shout outs to everybody in the world. Shout out to James, shout out to Flower, shout out to Coldwater, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. James, you got anything you want to put down?
Like just announcements, or are we doing shout outs?
Shout outs.
Oh shit. Shout out to you for having me on the show, though. Flower, shout out to you for showing up. And
everybody is in their own zone. Good night.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm hot as shit.
yeah, I'm kind of blowed too.
It's okay. We were here a few minutes ago, and we continued a whole another 20 minutes with a great show. So,
yeah.
See you guys next time, or at least I can see you. Maybe, hopefully, I'm gonna get some visual rights here in August. I'm negotiating.
Yep. So I catch y'all on the next show, probably tomorrow, probably the next day. I don't know. I'll definitely let you know. But
good night from the Coachella Valley.
Yep. Good night, Flower. Good night, Jay. See you on mic. So,
Yep, I gotta plug my phone in before it dies. It's down to 11% now.
oh yeah, charge your phone and then send me an invite.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Peace.
Peace.
And remember the slogan: smoke that shit. Do not waste that shit. And we out this bitch.